So the next one's config PL. And again, config PL is 775. So it's still not enough permissions. We're gonna have to 777 it. Sudo chmod 777 and config PL. Okay. So I just 777 to config PL. Okay. And so we made it through, sort of. We got further, but again, look at all of these files here, because Ubuntu's different probably from Red Hat or whatever. Oops, got my compiz going here. You know, so these are things that we're going to have to kind of tweak manually. It could not set permissions on any of these admin files, so need to make sure that they have at least 775 and possibly 777. Okay. I'm going to try to leave them at 775, but again, just like the other two, I may have to go in and increase the permission on these files. I mean, the easiest thing to do, of course, I could just recursively chmod 777 everything, but that's not a very secure way of doing things. I'm going to save time, so this isn't an enormously long tutorial, I'm going to do that on a couple of these folders, but that's not the way to do it. We're not following least privilege. You'd really want to do it the other way. You'd want to start out giving things as few privileges as possible and gradually adding privileges until it works. However, if I were going to do it that way, this tutorial would be a lot longer. So just to kind of, I'm just kind of giving you an idea of how you would tweak these permissions. So a lot of files are writable here. They're going to need 777, 775 or 777 in this DB folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. Sudo chmod and use the recursive option and specify that folder. Okay. And let's see, we got config. Admin may or may not require more permission. Now, don't click on this down here yet, because the script will try to delete itself. But click here to test. See if you can bring, alright, so I can bring the portal up. Notice here's my host name. So that's sort of like level 1. But level 2 is, can you actually authenticate? And the programmers, they set up a default password. Default login is admin, and the default password is web app. Okay? And I don't want to store a cookie right now, so I'm just going to see if I can log in. And this is a CAPTCHA system designed to keep web bots from spamming your forums and filling them up with useless advertisements, or call Susie for a good time or whatever. But it's just designed to fool those bots, those programs, because they can't really do optical character recognition with these lines and things. That's kind of a neat feature, especially on a free forum. Alright, so I could log in and authenticate. So that was step 2. I'm almost there, but not quite. Now, okay, I can load the forum and I can log in and authenticate as the administrator, but can I actually post an article? And then, okay, so here, I'm just going to try to post something. I'll do test and test right here, and set up a little smiley face there. And okay, and then let's you can view the latest articles, and then there's the article that I posted. So it looks like things are working okay. And now I just want to do a few more things. I'm going to go in here to site admin and test out the administrative features. And I'm going to also go to, actually I want to go to edit my profile first. Let me go here. And now you want to get rid of all these wildcards, but first thing you want to do is, you don't want to leave it as the default password. So I'm going to change that or modify that. Admin, and then I'm going to want to change my email. So I'm going to say cgermany77 at yahoo.com. I realize I just opened myself up to a universe of spam, but hey. Networkingprogramming.com be the website. I don't really need to fill out all that information, but you don't want to leave this blank. All right, to get it to work, you have to at least supply an email address for the admin account, and also for webmaster, which we'll do. I'm going to go ahead and click submit changes, and so that changed my password, so it's no longer the default password. Now I'm going to go to site admin, and I'm going to go to site configuration. The next thing I want to do is come over here to contact info, and again I don't want to leave the webmaster email blank because you can have issues. It'll compare it to other email addresses, and so I'm just going to say cgermany77 at yahoo.com. I'm going to say commit these changes. All right, so I've changed my password so far, and I've supplied an email address for both the admin and the webmaster account. And if you don't do that, you may have problems running this particular portal. I'm going to go back to site admin, and the next thing I'm going to do is come down here and change a few things. Where it says access administration CAPTCHA, it says enable visual verifier for guests. That's the CAPTCHA system. Remember all those graphics that you have to type in to kind of keep bots from spamming your forum with thousands of unsolicited posts and things? Well, I should leave that on, but I'm going to turn it off just to make it easy to test. I'll turn it back on later. This next one, allow users to submit forms to your site from elsewhere, and I'm going to say yes. And that way I can use my own email address. There'll be no restrictions. Again, I could always turn that back on later. Allow guests to recommend your site, yes, and then this one, just leave it blank. Limit access to IP. If you wanted, you could set it up so you could only log in as administrator from a certain IP. I'm going to click modify. So those changes have been saved. And I'm going to log out in a minute, but I'm going to generate an error just to show you what I'm going to log out right now. I'm going to apply. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to apply for an account just to show you. We haven't installed sendmail yet. We need to install sendmail just to show you what that would look like. I'm going to create a user here. And let me Alright, I'm gonna set up a user here, just a test user. And actually I'll use my email. Alright. I'm not gonna look for the newsletter there, but if I did that and I said agree, watch what would happen. Internal server error. That's because I don't have sendmail set up. Alright, so I'm going to go, with that in mind, I'm going to go back here and stay on this page. And then let's set up sendmail. Alright, so you can be in any folder. I'm going to do it right here. And I'm just going to do sudo apt-get install and sendmail. Shh! T-Bone, hush. That's my dog in the background. I just want to do sudo apt-get install sendmail. And I'm going to say yes. And this is just it's the free mail server that you can install with Linux Ubuntu. And it can utilize SMTP and port 25, and you can do IMAP things and all kinds of things with sendmail. But that's usually a fundamental part of a lot of PERL and CJ applications that you would run with Apache. You'd want to set up sendmail. So I kind of wanted to make sure I included that in the tutorial. Wow, so far in these tutorials I've had my cats, my children screaming, my cat's meowing, my dog's barking. Shh! T-Bone, hush. And that same portal, actually the web app, is running on a couple of websites here. Networking, programming. If I go here, and yeah, I know it ain't pretty, but if I go here, that portal is up and working here. I just customized it a little bit with some graphics and things. And also, if I go here, and if I go here to this domain, again, that portal is up and customized again for for this website. Kind of like the default blue theme there, but